That's good. Okay. So I'll just do a quick intro of myself. My name's Andrew McGillivray. I just retired from the Canadian Armed Forces, Naval Warfare Officer, Maritime Tactical Operator for 12 years before I got medically released. That was in April 2021. If I'm talking to you and I tilt my head to the left, it's because I'm partially deaf in my left ear. Okay, so you're aware. And I got a pretty dry sense of humor. Okay, so if I offend anyone, and if I do, he was directing the comment about swearing in here at me because I have sailor mouth. So I apologize. Well, I'll try my best. So anyways, so I got out of the Canadian Armed Forces in September of 2021. And, about a year ago, myself and a couple other veterans started a organization called Veterans for Freedom. I won't get too much into that. We call it V4F. A little bit, I don't want to say controversial group, but the government doesn't like us because we push back against their overreach. And it's made up of a lot of us veterans who were poisoned in the 90s by a experimental drug called Litecoin. That poisons, thousands and thousands of veterans. So anyways, like I said, I won't get too much into that stuff, but there's a lot of us, I wasn't one of them, but a lot of our guys are. But either way, we're over 3,000 members across the country. We have chapters and they're really blowing up and getting a lot of people. And our big focus for this year is community building and food security. So every day we write these daily intelligence summaries, and we do sort of assessments that give you honest answers and the truth from a military intelligence perspective. And basically what we saw last year is based on numbers, etc., there's going to be food security is going to be the biggest issue in 2023 when April 1st rolls around and they increase the carbon tax from $45 per whatever to 58. We're going to see it even more. Also, our organization works with groups of farmers across the country and help them sort of push back against what's essentially the government's going to be wiping out a lot of these farmers based on, I won't get down to the conspiracy hole, but there's a lot of people in especially rural communities, etc., that need help, and that's where a lot of us sort of stepped up to the plate to try and help local communities. One of the other things that we've started is something called FOB farms. So FOB stands for Forward Operating Base. So my generation of veterans, they spent a lot of time in forward operating bases overseas in Iraq, Afghanistan, and Syria. And so we sort of have a disconnect with the Legion, which is just, it's a different generation of veteran and more of this like a dive bar and get together type thing. And we want to focus more on with bonfires and getting outside and ecotherapy. So we have about, I think, 13 properties signed up for these FOB farms across the country, and it's basically this ecotherapy retreat and cooperative farm for vets, but then it also doubles down as helping people in the community and providing food and that sort of thing. Another group that myself and a couple other vets have started is something called Forward Operating Group. So that's basically a leadership training group. We run restricted license and our PALs and PALs, so your personal acquisition license for firearms. I know a bunch of people here are signed up. We have 2 back-to-back courses coming the 25th, 26th of March. If you are interested in that, let us know. We have probably the best instructor in Ontario, and it's $190. It's all day, and then there's a $10 facility fee. And I think if you want lunch, it's $10. So it's about $210 the whole day. And we have probably, like I said, probably the best instructor in Ontario. So we run those every month to try and get people who want it, their firearms license. And then also what that group does is we have a bunch of ex-Special Forces guys. And basically if you've done your PAL or our PAL before, you do the course. And then it's like, then what? So we have instructors who are running these courses once a week online, 4 hours. I think the pricing is like $50 or whatever, and they will get you like what we call soup to nuts, everything from after the PAL to where you sort of want to be, where you have a better understanding. And then if you're interested, they'll do individual gear consultations. You get a budget. Okay, you say I want to hunt ducks or deer or moose or whatever it is. and they'll sit down and they'll run through everything that you need to get in terms of scopes. You can spend I probably have about $20,000 spent in my gear, right? But it's all based on budget. And so they'll do that, and then we have a discount codes with a bunch of like Firearms Outlet Canada, Grey Fox Strategic, and some of the other big companies. And basically, we just give you our discount code, and you get 5 to 20% off everything, ammunition, firearms, and that sort of thing. So that's Fob Farms. Now, one of the things that came out from our first meeting was, okay, well, communication. That's going to be our big thing. How do we communicate? It was suggested that we do like a Facebook group, and not everyone's on social media. And Facebook bans a certain, trade or sale of certain items. So what we did is we registered Mark's cute name, HaliburtonHomesteaders.com, and we're going to put up a forum on there, and you just register at the forum, and it's going to have different sort of categories that you can post on or reply, and it's basically going to be just like a bulletin board type thing, or communication in terms of, okay, I have these products to sell, we got eggs here, this, that. It's also going to be a directory of skills, because a lot of, a few people came and spoke to me after last meeting and said, well, I'm an electrician, I can help and do electrical stuff, I'm a plumber, I can do this. And so it's going to be a directory of skills where we can sort of help each other out and share best practices. So what works up in this area, because you can go on YouTube and you can watch all these videos and everything, but it might not work in our zone, right? Or it might not, there's some sort of threat to it. So it's sharing best practices for our region and our county. And then the other thing there, this is what we got a lot of feedback from the last meeting, was buying power. So if we all want to get hoop houses, or we want to buy these clamp top food grade bins, which I'll speak about a little bit later, is that if you get people to sign up and say, okay, I want one, or I want 10 of these or whatever, then we go to the person who distributes them and say, look, we want to order 50 or 60 of them, we want a deal, and then we save on shipping, and then we can take those bins, and we're not wasting as much money. So things like that, where we can combine our buying power. And I think the number one thing that was emailed back to me from all the people who attended last time was they wanted to link up with people who want to share in purchasing like of whole cows or pigs or that sort of thing. That was like the number one thing that people emailed. I'm looking for someone to buy, split a quarter cow with. Okay, so we're going to have that on there where you can coordinate and put the money down, get it done. We're going to put the directory's going to have local farms, local businesses, what they offer, and that sort of thing. And there was some people were like, well, I want you to sort of do a Zoom call or whatever, and we sort of disagreed, because the whole if you look about sort of community building, you want to go face to face with people and chat with them and that sort of thing. And the online space is definitely what's hurt communities, because everyone spends their lives online.
Did you say you had your own server last time?
Yeah, we have V4F has a server. Yeah, so we're going to get the hosting and everything taken care of. So yeah, it's going to cost, I think it's like $12 a month, and $12 a year for the domain, and like $50 for the pro board or whatever it is per year. So it's not very much. Mark probably makes that in about 10 minutes at his shop. So yeah, selling the chickens. Yeah. And then also some of the other feedback we had from people was seed banks. Actually, so seed banks, people wanted to do that, and also workshops. That was the big thing. I know Louis is here, and I think you guys are here. They're like the pressure canning masters, so they can host events and workshops, like this is how you can pressure can to preserve food and that sort of thing. So I would say that those were probably the two biggest things, is hosting workshops about homesteading skills and sharing best practices, and the sharing of buying whole animals instead of buying your stuff from the store. So just a couple other things. So we found a guy who does these really good clamp top steel bins. So basically, there are a lot of the markings on them. They use them to ship wine. across the country. So you see it's from like Chile and everything like that. But then they're just one-time use, and once they're done, they just pile up in the warehouses. So we have a guy who can, the price has gone up probably, it used to be $30, they're about $40 now. But we use them on our farm for everything. All of our chicken feed goes in there, you seal them. We put our ash in there, everything, and they're really good. We're going to buy probably about 5 or 10 more, and the beauty about them is you just get a dolly and they pick them up, and no matter how heavy you are, that you can move them around. So I've talked to him. He said the price is now $40. He'll charge a delivery sort of to a one-stop place. Hopefully we might be able to use the Mercantile or someone's property for that. And so it worked out to be like probably about $42, $43 a bin, but again, that's us combining our buying power to purchase items that are going to help us on our farms. The other one, I think we had about 8 or 10 people sign up for the doing the hoop houses, the chicken coops, where we've I know Louis already bought a bunch of the plastic, and we actually bought a bunch of posts. And then basically what it is, you just sort of get a work party together. Like Louis and I would come to your place first. We'd build one for you, buy the materials, about $500-600, and then we just pay it forward. And hopefully that person, we did it, we teach them how to do it, then they can come to the next property who wants to get it set up, and then you can have different things. Now these hoop houses are amazing. Like we've had, where I am, we've had these crazy windstorms. We're on the top of a big hill, and there's no problem. You wouldn't believe what these things can stand through. And they can be used for everything. Like we're going to do goats this year. We're going to put more chickens in there. You can park cars in there. It's crazy. And if you wanted to buy an equivalent kit in the store, you're looking at about $2,000, right? And so we can get it between, I think, Louis, correct me if I'm wrong, $500 to $700. Yeah, $700. Yeah, and they last forever. It's incredible. So anyways, I won't speak too much about that. And I apologize because it takes me a while to get through people's emails. I'm the president of V4F, a massive veterans group. We're probably going to become the biggest veterans group in the country within the next year or two. So I deal with that. And we've done these speaking engagements now. I think we've done 2 or 3 of them now, myself and some of the other vets, and we have like 6 or 7 of them are all over Ontario. So we're going to be going asked to go to all these different places and speak. So we have my email's pretty full. So sometimes people email me and they say, I haven't heard from you, but just don't worry, I'll get back to you eventually. And then just sort of maybe 2 other points is when we get the forum up and running, where you'll have to register to get in. You see you see all the people who register. We just need maybe a couple moderators. So maybe part-time, you just go in there and check and make sure no one's posting any crazy stuff. I know there's some of us here who probably would like to do that, but we just want to make sure that we focus on homesteading, food security, and that type of thing. So anyways, that's all for me, and I'll stay here. If anyone has any questions for me about anything, I'll stick around as long as you are. Does anyone have any questions now, actually, or can we go? Oh, yeah, yes, sir.
How big's the hoop house?
So the big, nice change of subject. Good. So the hoop house is 10 by 20. Each section is 10 by 20. So they're pretty big. Like I got 30 or 28 chickens in mine there, and they have the time of their lives. You put, you put some wood on there and little things they climb on and bales of hay, and they love it. They don't even go outside anymore. They have the time of their life.
Can you use it as a greenhouse, or you need this?
You can use that as a greenhouse, 100%. Yeah, it has multi-purpose, right? So yeah, it's a really good system. It's durable, and even with the one I plan to build a bigger one, I'm going to have some the clear plastic and then some with the white, so they have some shade. But it's I've walked into the hoop house when it's been minus 30 outside, and because of the sun in there holding the heat, it's actually pretty warm for them.
Do you have a source for the plastic? For the covering?
Yeah. Louis is our engineering guru at the back. He's sort of responsible for purchasing all the materials. But yeah. Yes, ma'am. No. Well, you could probably modify it to make it movable. Like we have a chicken tractor, we have all sorts of stuff at our place, but the way we have it set, or the one that's set up at my place and the one that's set up at Louis' place, is it's stuck to the ground. You're using a big 6x6 pressure treated piece of wood, and you're hammering it about 2 feet into the ground.
How secure is it? Because I live out in the bush, so I got lots of animals.
You gotta get a guard dog or get some guinea fowl, but yeah, or geese, yeah. No, anything could break into it. What we've done is we've done a 1,500-foot perimeter fence. So what we did with our first coop before this is we got a trenching shovel, and we trenched 18 inches down. And then where we are, there's rocks everywhere, right? So we filled it with rocks. So if they try to dig under to get in, they're hitting rock. And if they try to go under the rock, that rock falls down. So that was our big deterrent. But I know we have a whole fencing plan. And when we get fobfarms.com up and running, we're going to share a whole bunch of stuff, because our group, we really go into the, guys like me who are tactical level guys, we just go into the details about, what's our biggest threat, right? So we do battle planning, something we call SMESC, which situation, mission, execution, service and support, and command and SIGs. So anyways, every time we approach projects that way, we use that format because we're all familiar with it. We're speaking the same language. And basically we say, okay, so what's our threats? Okay, so you got coyotes, you got raccoons, you got fishers, and then the guys get in and research about how to counter that stuff. And even, it's funny because people come up there and they're like, hey, you got it's in the middle of summer or spring, you have no bugs, there's no mosquitoes, there's no ticks, there's no flies, there's no deer flies, there's nothing. And it's because we've done a fulsome approach about how to combat that, because they're just pests. And it's going to limit our ability to be effective in terms of food, food development, etc. So we use something called mosquito barrier. We spray it ourselves. All it is concentrated garlic, kills all the ticks and the mosquitoes. So we do that. We have, some guys did some research into how to kill deer flies. You basically get blue solo cups, and we put it on our tractor. And on those solo cups, we have something called tanglefoot, which is a gooey substance that you're supposed to put at the base of your trees so that bugs don't crawl up. And you drive at 5 miles per hour through your property on your tractor. And basically when you're done, after about 10 minutes, you've probably killed a couple thousand deer flies, because they're attracted to blue and they fly in. And then we have no deer flies, we have fly bags, we have everything. So we can help with all that sort of stuff on how to counter that, because we're right in the middle of the bush and we have no mosquitoes. Yeah, well, you can, if you get proper fencing. So we get all of our cedar posts from the Stole Metal, the Amish, down on Glenarm Road for $10 a post. Amazing, get that. We have a guy who does bulk fencing. Oh, sure, I can't say that. I'm not going to steal Mark's business here, but you can get fencing and you can put stuff in place, right? It's all how we approach it, and just from our perspective, because our previous job is we're not in the business of losing. If we want to get something done, we find a way to get it done.
What I was asking is if you have any community fields, so that there's a community
Oh, okay.
field to raise a cow on, that not just me, somebody else wants to do it too.
Yeah.
I'm going to butcher my own, I want to put it in.
Yeah, for sure. That's something that when we get the forum up and running, that's one of the questions you can ask. And if there's people who know other people in the community are willing to do that, I know my neighbor Ben Wilby. I think he's doing something similar. He's cleared probably about 10 acres, and he has, I think, 7 or 8 cattle on his property, and they're not all his, right? So he's doing it for some of his family members. So that's something where we could sort of not barter, but discuss on the forums about if people would be willing to do that for you. Yeah, good question. So yes, ma'am.
So we live in Kawartha, but we're in Kirkfield. And my husband and I moved up from the city. We're complete new. We don't know what we're doing, but we do have chickens. We have 40 acres. We have 15 acres cleared. We would grow something, but we don't know how to, and we don't have machinery. We put every penny into just trying to clear land, try to get a business going, just what we do. So is Kirkfield too far away? I mean, we're willing to use the 15 acres. We're willing to grow food, give it away. We're willing to use it. We just don't know what to do. We don't have the machinery and how to do it.
Yeah, so that's great, because that's why we have Andrew coming up here shortly, because he's a salty homesteader here, and he'll be able to give you some tips. On our, when farm's up and running, there's a couple sort of trusted people who we're partnered with. Does anyone here know who Curtis Stone is? Yeah. Okay, so Curtis Stone is a guy out in Kelowna, BC. He's an awake guy, solid dude. He started doing just urban farming, where he's growing on, like, he would like lease his neighbors' backyards, and his yields were amazing of what he could do. Microgreens. It was very profitable. But anyways, our Fob Farms is actually partnered with Curtis. We got a direct line with him, and he's our go-to guy. So from the field.tv, all the lessons, like, you can go online, there's a million things, but what we want to do is sort of narrow it down. So like here, trusted people are Copia is a great guy. He does the greenhouses out in northern Saskatchewan. There's that. Curtis Stone. There's one of our permaculture plan that we have for our farm. It was done by a young woman named Jen, and she's understudy of Michelle and Rob Avis, who run Verge Permaculture. Because I was saying this to Mark earlier, is, you know, our 37.5 acres was part of a 500-acre homestead from the early 1900s. They had Highland cattle, they had everything. Eventually they gave up because they couldn't get quality hay up here, and they're having problems with the animals and everything. But with sort of I don't want to say technology, but maybe, I guess, science might be the word nowadays, is our plan, you can be living on pretty much a rock, and you can start to grow with terraforming and permaculture. So there's all sorts of great tools out there. And one of the things, when we get the website up, we'll share the Fob Farm stuff. We have comprehensive tool lists from, okay, well, we have gas-powered stuff. What if we don't have gas or diesel anymore? Okay, then we have battery powered. What if the batteries run out? We can't buy batteries anymore. Well, then we have hand tools, right? So we have it all broken down in terms, again, this is just military style planning that we do. We what if till the cows come home, just to make sure that what if this happens, then we do this. So I think that's what's going to be good about the forum, is we'll get a lot of people up there, on there, sharing best practices. And then also, this again, we can act as a workforce, right, to help people out and say, okay, look, I need some help, just like the barn raising. Has anyone seen the Amish barn moving? You want to talk about community? There you go. You got 1,000 of them, they just pick it up and walk, right? So if we get a group big enough and we get enough people helping each other out, we're going to save money. We're going to, meet people. I could see in the future, as we start having, monthly sort of get-togethers with, meals or potluck things, like, that's how you do it. And we just help each other out, because what we need is, we need food, we need water, and shelter to survive. And we're going to see in the next couple of years, because if there is, this war escalates over in the Ukraine, you're going to see how bad we're going to be hurting, because we have given everything over to the globalists, right? It's going to affect us drastically. So our overarching strategy from V4F, because we see what the threats are to Canadians, we believe that localism will counter globalism, and that's why we have our group getting out and doing these types of meetings all across the country. Yes, ma'am.
I don't have a question. I felt it in my heart that I feel like it's going to be better than it was.
Sorry, which is going to be better?
Just the way of life as a community.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. 100% it's going to be better. Like, I grew up in Scarborough, in the hood, in back in the 80s and 90s, right? And it was kids were outside all the time playing baseball teams, and you were always outside. Like, your parents had to go track you down, right, to try and get you to come home. Now we're just stuck on screens, or being programmed, people to be, on phones. And I'm guilty of it too now, because I'm so busy. But when you actually get out, like this, like our organization, we don't make money, we don't get paid or anything like this. We get out and do this stuff. But I've met so many thousands of people, right? And it's so much better when you're dealing with people face to face. You'll have better living, and you're gonna have better food.
look at it in a positive light as that, rather than feeling like, oh my gosh, we're doomed. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Oh yeah. Yeah. There's difference. Yeah. Some people are what we call white pilled or black pilled or whatever. Being a salty, seasoned sailor as I am, I don't mean to be trying to bring everyone down, but yeah, I'm just a little bit definitely worried about what's happening in Europe. But you need to maintain sort of situational awareness about what's happening, and we got to work together of how to counter the threat to our food. It's essentially it's going to be a threat to our food supply chain, is what it is. Yeah.
Andrew, when's the forum going to be up and running? What's the ETA on that?
Probably within a week or so. So yeah, Mark asked when the forum's going to be up. It's probably going to be within a week or so. Our web developer is very busy, so it's in the queue. And once it's up and running, then it shouldn't be too long. You go and register. We just have share, like I said, share best practices and that sort of thing. So yeah, I don't mean to be a Debbie Downer.
No,
Okay, I apologize. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Can you repeat the website for the forum, please?
It's going to be haliburtonhomesteaders.com.
Okay.
Yes, sir. I'll send it if you as long as you email me and you get on the list there. I'll send out the details when it's up and running. And if people want to volunteer to moderate or anything like that, just let us know, because I definitely won't be able to do it. Is there any other questions? All right. Is that break time?